Hi there. So this is my boat hook, and as part of my little sort of my boat sort of assessment, end of season assessment, one of the things was this boat hook was the plastic epoxy that I put over the screw here, or the nail that I put in here, is actually all coming off. You see it's flaking off, and underneath I think the nail's a little bit rusty underneath. So I've noticed around here it's much, it seems to stick much better down here. So I'm gonna give it a little clean up with the Dremel, and then we're gonna put some new epoxy over the top, and we're gonna do a few coats, excuse me, and then we'll consider that okay for the coming season. I think the rest of it's fine, doesn't need varnishing at this point. The rest of the boat hook is fine. So I'm going to get my trusty Dremel. So that's nice and clean. So I think this was hanging on quite well. So there's a little bit of rust under there as well. So there's a little bit of rust under here as well. So I think we need to maybe strip back. Yeah, you can see, look, that this is quite rusty underneath. So I think that's what it was. I think the nail was maybe a little bit rusty to begin with. And you can see when you get down to here, actually, look, there's no rust down here. So yeah, either the epoxy wasn't thick enough and it just got a leak, or or maybe there was some rust under there. I definitely didn't rust treat it. So I'll just finish this bit off. That's one shiny nail. We'll get some plastic on now. So I'm going to use the same PU casting resin, this Easy Flow 60. I'm just going to put, if you can see the camera there, there we go. Just going to put, I think we'll try with just 5mm of each, just a tiny little bit. Oh, there's a little bit more than that there. So, because it dries quite quickly and quite hard. So, and I'll just, because we're going to do quite loose, I'll just snap those in half. No point wasting a whole spatula on one mix. So I've only mixed up quite a little amount in here, probably too much, but there we go. There we go, that's nice and mixed. And then I've just got a really cheap brush. You can buy these, like, honestly, like 10 or 12 for £2 down the local art shop. And I'm just gonna put layers of plastic on. So we'll start with one nice thin layer, and we'll just build it up as we go along. So I may as well put another layer on here while we're at it. It takes about 10 minutes to set, 10 to 15 minutes I think to set this this plastic or resin. I said it was epoxy before, but I don't think it's epoxy, it's just resin. It's quite a nice, it's much softer than epoxy, I would say. Yeah. So as it starts to set, you can actually probably get another couple of little layers on it. You can see it's setting already on the nail itself, and it's starting to set in the cup as well. As you can feel it as you're trying to put it on. It's no longer a viscous liquid. It's now getting to be a bit more solid. You can feel the heat as well in your hand from the reaction. So we'll let that just dry, see how see if that can set a little bit more. Actually, I'll just put more on here, Warren. Yeah, you can see, that's good. Make sure we get the bottom. Don't forget about that. And the other side. Oh yes, it's starting to really get solid now, this. You can see it's starting to go white as well as it sort of solidifies. There we go. Look at that. There we go. And I'll probably stop now. It's getting to a point now that I can't even work the plastic look, so I think that's enough. You can see, look how it's suddenly solidified in the cup there. There you go. So we can't really work with that now, and also we lose the paintbrush, which is why I use a cheap one. So we'll let that set, and then we'll do the next coat. Coat number 2 of the resin. You'll have to excuse me, I've just had my booster vaccination for COVID, and it's made me just feel a little bit under the weather, so I've got a slight cough, unfortunately. Right, here we go. We're just going to do another little coat of this. That's the second coat, all done. Right, so this has had, I think I put 3 coats on in total. You can see it's proper covered it. But this plastic I use is nice to cover, and it's quite strong, but it's not impact resistant. So what I'm now going to do, just put a little bit of epoxy on it, just this Old Faithful. Go down to the local department store and just get some Gorilla epoxy. I found this works really well, actually, for little jobs on the boat. So we're going to mix some of that up and paint that on. There we go, that'll do, that'll do. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to turn it back up that way, otherwise you get a little drip forming on the top there. So we'll check this next week. Hopefully it'll be really nice and hard and ready for a new season, and that's the boat hook done. Monday morning, and this has had the whole weekend to just cure. And actually I noticed this plastic down here, this was hard and this was a bit soft, and that's actually quite hard now. So I didn't mix the last coat of the white plastic brilliantly, and I don't think this epoxy is coming out or feeding as well as it could be either. But having said that, it's quite hard now, so this epoxy is really hard. I think we're done with this, so the boat hook is ready for next season.